What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and today we are going to be talking about YouTube because there were some changes announced yesterday that are impacting the YouTube partnership program, so much so that I'm no longer eligible to be a YouTube partner. How about that? As somebody who has poured thousands of hours into recording videos, editing videos, learning new software, editing thumbnails, sending them out on social media, talking back and forth with those that comment and interact with me, it's very disheartening to hear that I'm not going to be eligible for the YouTube partnership program anymore. With that being said, I've also poured a lot of money into it. I mean, you can see that I've bought everything you see in this video essentially just for YouTube. The mics that I use, the mics that I've used in the past, the stuff that I use for Twitch, the camera that you're watching is like probably a $850, $900 4K camera. It's like I've poured a good bit of resources in both time and money into what I do here on the YouTube channel. I also want to say that as far as monetization goes, I never really made that much to begin with. Of course, I made a couple of bucks here and there. I'm partnered with Union for Gamers right now. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to pan out in the long run, considering that these changes are taking place. But essentially, I would make a couple of bucks every month. You know, it's not going to be anything that's going to be paying my bills, or it's not going to be anything that's going to be getting me some kind of mansion out in LA or anything like that. But it was just a small token of appreciation. It was a small signal that something that I was doing was going to be rewarded in the long run. That's kind of the way that I viewed the ability to monetize my content. And so according to some new guidelines, that is being taken away as of next month. Back in April of 2017, the terms were updated to where pretty much the requirement for a YouTube partnership was 10,000 lifetime views. That means that you have 10,000 views across every video that you upload to the channel. Now, for some smaller creators that really pour their soul into that, that's a very large number. For others, that's not that much. 10,000 views overwhelmingly, from my point of view, is a very low threshold. That is something that is incredibly achievable in 1 or 2 months, depending on the kind of content that you make. At the very most, a year. You can probably pump out 10,000 views in a year if you remain consistent and you do upload quality content that people do enjoy, or you could also upload something that goes viral, which is pretty much the main issue that is behind the changes that we're seeing here in January of 2018. As of today, for those that want to apply for a brand new YouTube partnership that have never had one before, then you have to have 1,000 subscribers on top of also having 4,000 hours of your content watched within the past 12 months. That's pretty much the brand new standard. That's the golden standard. That is the requirement to become a YouTube partner. On February 20th of 2018, this new kind of policy is going to be enacted on the existing partners, meaning that if you have already achieved partnership, that actually can be revoked, and that's the case that's happening with me. So essentially, if you do not have 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of your content watched within the past 12 months, then essentially you are going to be kind of kicked from the YouTube partnership program. However, whenever you do hit that threshold again, whenever you do get 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of your content watched within the past 12 months, then you will automatically be reevaluated and brought back into the partnership program as soon as that happens. This is great because you don't have to go back through the process of becoming a YouTube partner again like we had to back whenever we first got into the program. So essentially, you just have to hit these new thresholds and you're back in the game, but until then, you're not going to be getting any money from what you do. Needless to say, these policies impact a ton of channels across the entire site, and YouTube actually had a pretty interesting statement to go along with that within their community blog post. They said, and I quote, "Though these changes will affect a significant number of channels, 99% of those affected were making less than $100 per year in the last year, with 90% earning less than $2.50 in the last month. Any of the channels who no longer meet this threshold will be paid what they have already earned based on our AdSense policies. After thoughtful consideration, we believe these are necessary compromises to protect our community." They also kind of squirm around Logan Paul and the entire situation that's going on with him, because I love seeing them squirm in this situation because they don't want to explicitly say, hey, one of the biggest creators on the platform has been outed as just being a terrible human being. They try not to say these things, but they do say, and I quote, where is it here? "We also know that the bad action of a single large channel can also have an impact on the community and how advertisers view YouTube. We'll be working to schedule conventions with our creators in the months ahead so we can hear your thoughts and ideas about what more we can do to tackle the challenge," which in and of itself is a very hard challenge to in fact tackle. So what's the response? What are people saying about this? It essentially depends on if you are eligible under these new guidelines for partnership. If you have hit the threshold that is expected, then it seems like there is an overwhelming positive response. If you have not hit the threshold, then it seems like everybody is a little bit disgruntled. It seems like everybody's upset and frustrated, and that's pretty much what I expected to see whenever I first heard these announcements. As somebody who is being impacted by this, as somebody who is being kicked from the partnership program over these new guidelines, I am frustrated as much as anybody else, because because I've poured myself into this channel. Since high school, I've been essentially using every spare minute of my life to grow this channel, and it is a slow burn. You know, it is something that takes a long time. It's something that takes commitment and persistence, and let me make it very clear, just because these changes are taking place and my monetization is being turned off, oh no, the channel is not going anywhere. These new changes separate the men from the boys. This separates those that are just in it for the money from those that are in it for the passion, that are in it for the long game, that are in it for the return that you'll get from collaborating with other people, that you'll get from showing off what you can do with your talents that you've learned here on YouTube. It's not about the money. I've always said that. I've said it on Twitch. I've said it on YouTube. It's not about the money for me. It's never been and never will be. These changes are going to improve YouTube in the long run. In the short term, it's going to sting a little bit, especially if you've been on that YouTube grind for a long time like I have. But, you know, a year down the line, 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, the discoverability on the platform is going to skyrocket because simply people are going to give up from being frustrated. That's what's going to happen, at least from my perspective and in my opinion. Going on, there are still a lot of challenges that have to be tackled, both by YouTube and by content creators, but a collaboration between the two. If YouTube begins to listen to what the creators are saying, and creators accept the changes that YouTube is implementing, then essentially we're going to be able to kind of make a synergy here. We're going to be able to get back the sense of community that we lost over the course of the past couple of years, because that's what's happened, a loss of a sense of community. It seems like there's an us and them. There is a creators and there's a YouTube. It's not that. We are all unified under the same kind of flag. We're all unified under the same platform. And so I feel like these changes that are made to the partnership program are the first step in cleaning up YouTube and making sure that the content is at least held to a higher standard, even if that standard isn't hit by a lot of the channels out there. As kind of a send-off for those smaller creators out there, for those that have less than 1,000 subs or in general are with me in that they don't hit the new threshold, don't give up, because I feel like over the next year, 2 years, like I said, 3 years maybe, we're going to be seeing a lot of shifting on YouTube where there's going to be more of a spotlight and more of an opportunity to grow thanks to these changes that are implemented. So if you are on the fence about continuing your time here on YouTube, if you're on the fence about continuing to create content, I would encourage you to do so, because I feel like there's going to be a huge period of growth for those that aren't necessarily big-time YouTubers here on the platform. So there you guys have it. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, drop me a like down below and share it on social media if you have not done that already, or in fact, just reach out to me on social media. Twitter is @PrettyChillGuy, Instagram is @SamuelAdamsMedia, and also on Twitch, I'm @TheSamuelAdams. You can check me out on all of those platforms. But as for right now, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I want to thank you for sticking with YouTube, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.